Hello and welcome to What Pet Should I Get? My name is Julia Batchelor. Today on the program we travel to Waterstone Estate and Farms to learn about the Back in the Saddle program, which helps people with mental health issues find the tools that they need to return to work by using equine-assisted therapy. Of course, Claire Fordrin will be here from Dog Tales Rescue and Sanctuary, and as always, our girl Callie Milliman is here from the Ontario SPCA with Indy the kitty. But before we start talking about him, last week we had Daisy on.
Yes, we did.
And good news?
Good news, she got adopted, absolutely. So I know we spent time explaining her situation a little bit here on the program last week, and sure enough, we were able to find her the perfect match. So she has gone to a new forever home.
Nice. Well, we were talking about how I know that Daisy had, she has urinary crystals, and both you and I have pets with that exact same issue. And my cat, you know, he's on a special diet, and he's had no problems since he's been on that diet, so.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's absolutely manageable. It's just a matter of finding the right family that is ready to take that on and do what Daisy needs to have a happy life, so.
Well, that's good news. We love to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about Indy right now. I know usually we save her to the end, or him, I should say. He is 3 years old.
He is, so he's an adult cat.
And tell me about Indy.
Indy is very loving, very cuddly. We are suggesting that Indy does go to a single animal home. So Indy will be your one and only love in your home. As you can see, he's pretty cuddly, pretty curious as well. He is only 3, so he's still got
he's
still got a lot of love and a lot of life to give. And he's just looking to get settled. He's been with us since about January, early January. He was surrendered to us with a couple of health issues, but we've since been able to get him back up and running, happy, healthy, and he's looking for his home now. So,
does he have any special dietary requirements that, no?
Not at all, not at all. So he's able to just have a regular adult cat diet, and he seems to be doing really well with that. As I mentioned, he's super curious here on TV. He would like to run around and explore.
Well, if he can't make it through the segment, we'll just have our floor director come in and take him, and then we can put him back in his carrier for you.
Awesome, sounds good.
Yeah. And I know that April is cat adoption month.
Yeah, it's our Meet Your Match month. And sort of in partnership with that, it's I Adopt for Spring. Yeah. So with I Adopt for Spring, all adult cats, so a cat that's a year or older, they're all $99, which is great. It's an awesome little sort of deal for anybody out there who's thinking of bringing a new cat into their home. And of course, it still includes all of our regular stuff. And by that, I mean all the adult cats are still going home spayed or neutered. They're still going home microchipped, and they're still going home with some of their shots. Thank you for those kisses there, Indy.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Now, springtime, obviously, I mean, this probably coincides with the fact, too, that I imagine there's a lot of kittens being born or coming up to being born around this time. So do you guys get an influx of cats and kittens in April and May?
Absolutely. So, you know, as the weather warms, we call it kitten season or cat season, right? It's the birds and the bees, and any shelter can attest to this, that as the weather warms in the spring months, like you mentioned, April, May, sometimes even into June, we will start to see a lot more kittens coming in, some pregnant mums coming in, and therefore our cat population rises.
Yeah.
And so that's why we try to have these events like I Adopt for Spring to, of course, encourage people to adopt, get animals to their new homes, but of course help control our pet population.
We're just going to have our floor director, Claire, you want to just run in here, and we're going to take Indy because he's just a little bit stressed due to the lights. We say that every time a pet's in here. It's a very strange environment for them.
It is.
And I know I want to save you from having claws in your legs. Yeah. I actually want to mention that I have a cat from Ontario SPCA. Tyler, can you bring up, I want to show Milo when he was a baby. So I adopted him. And I'll tell you one of the great things.
He's so cute.
Ain't he? He's adorable.
He's adorable.
So, and I'll show you, this is what he looks like today. So he's been with me for about 7 years, and he is the best cat ever. I love him. And he loves to get his photo taken. Yeah. So he's from the Ontario SPCA, the Newmarket location as well. And what I thought was great was in the adoption fee included, of course, his first set of shots and a reduced fee for having him neutered. Neutered.
So at that time, he didn't come to you fixed?
He was still a baby. He was only 8 weeks, so
gotcha.
I had to come back for when he was old enough.
So the way we sort of structure it now is we don't let animals go out unless they're
So that was
fixed.
7 years ago.
Exactly, yeah. So now it's a little bit different. So for sure, it's guaranteed they will be going home fixed. So it's not really a concern for any new adopters out there.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Now, also in April, we have the continuing Future Vets program. If you could bring up that poster. Can you just remind our viewers about what the Future Vets program is?
Sure. Future Vet is for kids who love animals, who maybe think one day they want to have a career with animals, or, you know, maybe just think, I'd like to explore animals a little bit more, get to know a little bit more about our organization and about different ways to work with animals. So there's the Future Vet 1 program for ages 7 to 9 and Future Vet 2 for ages 10 to 12. And it's a program where kids get to come in, learn a different topic for each session, get a little bit more information, gather some facts about various animals and various animal species, and hopefully maybe one day get the sort of vet bug, I would say, and maybe one day want to become a veterinarian.
You know, I wish they had something like that when I was a kid.
Right?
Because, honestly, I would be a vet. I wouldn't be sitting here. I'd be in a veterinary office.
That's what we all say as well.
Now, getting back to the I Adopt for Spring, I know at the Ontario you have you're located in Newmarket, but there is another branch of the Ontario SPCA that's still fairly new in the Markham branch that's all for cats.
It's true, yeah. So we've expanded quite a bit, not just here in York Region, but right across the province. So we do have 13 of our animal centers that are right across the province. And then as a way to continue to branch out, to help people find our animals maybe more accessibly, as opposed to going all the way to one of our animal centers or all the way to our center on Woodbine Avenue, you can go to the Thornhill Community Center, which is where our Markham Cat Adoption and Education Center is. That center has the ability to hold up to 17 cats that are all, again, spayed, neutered, microchipped, healthy, ready to go home. So that's another option for anybody that's maybe a little bit further south and looking to adopt a cat. Still, that adult cat $99 sale takes place there as well all month long. So definitely check them out.
And I know that you also put some of your cats in various pet stores within the region as well.
We do. You'll notice that if you go around to a couple of different PetSmarts in Richmond Hill, Pet Values in Aurora, throughout York Region, we do have our animals at those locations. Again, the sale goes for all of our animals, so making sure that all of our animals that are up for adoption, no matter where you're going to be getting them from, have all of the same requirements and everything is sort of taken care of for you. That's going to make the adoption process that much easier.
All right, awesome. Well, I hope that we have a successful Adopt a Month. And just before we go to break, we're going to throw to our pet tip with our one and only girl right here, Callie Milliman. Take it away.
Homemade pet treats can be a healthy and inexpensive way to enrich your pet's life. A great treat we have for you today is all about Kongs. You just take your pet's Kong and you fill it with their favorite food, pop it in the freezer, and it becomes a really great frozen treat. In those hot summer months, this is the best way for your pet to cool down and have a delicious treat. I'm Callie Milliman with the Ontario SPCA, and that is this week's Pet Tip.
Welcome back. With me now is Claire Forndren from Dogtails Rescue and Sanctuary, and of course we have 2 dogs here to talk about. But before we get to that, I want to ask you about our 2 Maxes. We got Big Max and Little Max. What's happening with Big Max? Has he found a home yet?
So Big Max, the same man who we spoke about last week, is continuing to visit him. So, I mean, it's really important for us that the 2 of them have a really solid relationship before we send Max home.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's continuing to visit and work with our trainers so that we can show him what we've been doing and how to continue
there he
it.
is.
And
he's so handsome.
he's a really handsome guy.
So now that you have somebody that's been working with Max for this long, does that sort of close the door for other people showing interest? Are you going to sort of let this, see where this relationship goes, or are other people still, if somebody really shows interest, can they adopt him?
So we're not going to close any doors simply because, you know, in our experience, people do change their mind from time to time. So if he changes his mind or thinks Max isn't the right fit, we don't want to lose a good home.
But I guess it seems promising.
It does, yeah. So our fingers are crossed.
All right. And then we have Little Max. So Little Max was on the show last week. he found a home yet?
So little Max is meeting a potential new fur sister on Monday.
Okay.
So if they get along, then maybe.
Okay, and look, there. Oh, okay. The picture was up, and again, I always have to say, your photographer takes the best portraits. I always feel like they can capture the essence of the dog.
Well, we're not trying to make people feel sorry for these dogs. We want them to look beautiful and show, you know, their true personality. So, yeah, that's why we take the photos the way we do.
And so you also have a visitor. His name is Brian Kilcommons. Now he was at Dog Tales, or is he still there?
He's still with us, yep.
And he is a renowned dog trainer. So what's happening with Brian and over at Dog Tales?
So Brian is one of the trainers that is going to be working with us to rehabilitate the 21 Tilbury dogs if we're able to take them in.
Yep.
But in the meantime, what he's been doing this week is teaching seminars with our staff because we want our staff to be constantly learning new techniques and hearing new perspectives. And so, yeah, he's been working with all of our dog handlers, and it's been a really incredible week. I mean, he's
been learning stuff.
A true talent.
Yeah. A dog whisperer, so to speak.
Seriously, he really is. Yeah, it's amazing to watch.
Excellent. Well, again, we'll have an update hopefully in a couple of weeks about what's happening in Tilbury, and hopefully it's good news. And then you guys will be definitely well prepared for if those dogs do get to come to Dog Tales.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of dogs, we have this adorable bonded pair. This is Fifi and Nemo. So tell us about these two little pups.
So Fifi and Nemo both came from Miami. They were both actually rescued from a hoarding situation. So the woman had about 40 dogs in a small home, and so all of the dogs were confiscated and taken.
40 dogs?
40 dogs.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, as you can see, they weren't being cared for. A lot of them were in really rough shape. So they were taken to Miami-Dade, and all of them found homes except these two. So when we went down, we snapped them up and figured they'd have a better chance here of finding a good home.
When, is Miami part of the regular circuit for when you guys are looking for dogs in need of homes? Because, I mean, you travel far and wide to find dogs. So how do you know to go to Miami to get these two guys?
So our connection with Miami, last spring we were sent a photo of a dog who needed a home. And, you know, we get sent these photos all the time, but there was something about this photo that really made us sad. It really touched us. So we called Miami-Dade right away and offered to take the dog. And unfortunately, he had already been euthanized.
Aww.
So once that happened, you know, everyone was heartbroken. We started doing a bit more research about just how many dogs are euthanized there every day. And it's not because they're bad people there.
They just run out of space.
They have no space.
Yeah.
I mean, people are surrendering about 50 dogs a day there, if you can believe it.
If you think one place has 40.
Yeah.
Right? Like one household has 40 dogs. So
yeah, it's a little out of control down there. So, you know, ever since we found out just how horrible the situation was, we've continued to rescue. We've taken probably 200 dogs from Miami.
Wow.
In the past 6 months. So,
so if you can notice the way that Fifi's sitting, she's doing this, okay? I haven't propped her up like this. She seems to enjoy sitting up like this. Now I know that Fifi and Nemo are bonded.
They are.
So they have to go home together, right?
They do. They've been through so much together that we can't bear to split them up. So they need a home that will take them both.
And I know maybe the viewers can notice that Fifi has a cataract in her right eye. Now, this may sound silly, but can you operate and remove cataracts on dogs' eyes?
So she's been going to a specialist. If there's anything we can do to give her a bit more vision, we're absolutely going to be doing it. It's still early days. They just arrived, so we don't know too much yet about what our options will be, but we're going to do everything we can.
But otherwise, she's in good health.
Yeah, and she's very well adjusted. I mean,
she's very sweet.
Yeah, she's a really sweet.
Yeah, she's a sweetie.
Yeah, she loves to be carried. Honestly, like, it's hard taking her for a walk even from the parking lot into the studio. She just wants to be held constantly.
Oh, so if you're looking for a snuggler, there's your girl right there.
Yeah.
And Nemo looks like he's quite the snuggler too.
He
now,
is.
I noticed that Nemo also has, he has a little bit of an ailment with his front paw, but I guess you guys don't really know the history of that, how that happened?
No. I mean, given like
the circumstances,
it was likely an injury that was never addressed and then it healed. improperly. So we're looking into that too to see if there's anything we can do, or if our vet thinks we should amputate, or what the best course of action.
So now you think that Fifi's about 9, same with Nemo?
We think he's about 5, actually.
Okay.
He's a little younger.
So if he's had this injury and his paw is a little bit deformed, but it just adds personality.
Yeah.
He seems to be adjusting quite well to it, so that's not going to be an issue, right?
No, it's not going to be an issue. I mean, both of these dogs are so well adjusted, and it's just part of their story and their charm.
All right, well, if you're interested in either adopting, well, not either, if you're interested in adopting Nemo and Fifi together, visit our website. All the details for Dog Tales is on there. And now, here is this week's Vet Tip with Dr. MJ Winters.
Every week we see multiple patients at our clinic presenting with eye issues. Pet owners will often report their pet unable to open their eye fully. If untreated, eye issues will become very serious very quickly. However, as a pet owner, you can provide first aid for your pet until you get a chance for further care. Gently flushing the eye with a tear solution, or even using cold water from the tap, can be very beneficial and help to dislodge any foreign objects. If you happen to have a cone at home, place this on your pet to stop them from injuring themselves further. If you believe your pet has been exposed to any noxious substance or allergen, try and wash it away from their face and from around the eyes. This may help to relieve some of the discomfort. The cornea, or surface of the eye, once injured can develop an ulcer, which, if untreated, may cause long-term damage to the eye and reduce its functionality. Eye injuries can deteriorate dramatically, so always remember to review with, or at least contact your vet immediately. The measures we have discussed are simply first aid. This is Dr. MJ Winters from the 404 Veterinary Emergency and Referral Clinic, and that's this week's Vet Tip.
Returning to work after any length of absence can be quite difficult. Now, add to that anxiety, depression. Any number of mental health issues can take a somewhat daunting task and make it all the more challenging. The very innovative and creative program called Back in the Saddle is designed to help those with mental health issues gain the skills they need to return to the workforce by using equine-assisted therapy.
Decide with conviction where you're going. Stay focused on where you want to go.
The program was developed through collaboration between the charitable foundation Horses at Heart, run by Deborah Weiss, and the employment specialist Nancy Gagnon with the Canadian Mental Health Association, York Region and South Simcoe branch.
The program is laid out actually over 12 weeks now, and the participants go through the 12-week cycle, and they're really invited, encouraged to come back and do it over and over again for up to a year, because what they learn in the program is really additive, and it really works with repetition. So they spend one morning a week doing a emotional health building workshop, and we really go over anxiety coping skills, skills of working with people, skills of how to deal with time management and stress management and all of those things that are really important not only on a day-to-day in our day-to-day lives, but of course important in employment situations. So they do that once a week, and then they come and they volunteer in the barn for a day of every week, and they're really both learning horse and barn care skills, but they're also learning whether they're ready to go back into the workforce. Can they get up? Even on those challenging days, can they show up to work? Can they be healthy and productive during the day?
Well, being out of work for a long time, there's a lot of fears involved, and overcoming fears is a lot of what we work on here. And so that piece allows them a place where they have a supported employment location, and they can feel at ease. They know they're among people that are understanding, that there's social work background and equine assisted therapy background, where they know they can come in and if they are not feeling so well one day, there's some understanding. They talk through it. The horses help a lot with that, so I think it's a natural progression that to be here, they suddenly feel better. One of our participants, their testimonial on the program was that this is a place where they stopped thinking their negative thoughts, And it took them from their unhealthy place, their unhealthy mind and way of thinking, and put them in a positive frame of mind, and allowed them to think positive thoughts and enjoy their day and enjoy the sunshine. And we work a lot on that, the science of happiness here.
You're good. Be confident, because the horse will sense that. The horse can tell on that energetic level how you're feeling. Beautiful. That looks great. The focus of the program isn't to be a therapeutic program in terms of going over what their life stories and their challenges are. The focus of the program is to develop new ways of thinking and new ways of being in the world that are productive and healthy and joyful. So when they come to the barn, they really have the chance to spend the whole day having a great day. It feels great to be outside. It feels great to work with the horses, and we work with them to give them some skills with working with the horses and working in the barn. And most importantly, that they should really feel great. Get through the day and be able to focus on doing something productive. And at the end of the day, they really have done a lot. They've taken care of the horses, they've taken care of where the horses live and what the horses are eating, and it's very rewarding and it's very empowering.
The BIZ program has been running for 2 years, and approximately 40 CMHA clients have participated. Anthony is one of those clients that is still coming to the program even after the initial 12-week run.
Well, I love the animals. I like the work. It's given me a lot of kind of confidence to hopefully get back into the workplace one day. It's great to have like responsibility, a routine, a nice place to come and have purpose, which a lot of people that suffer from mental illness kind of lack. So I come here as much as I possibly can. I'll come here really depressed or anxious, and I'll start working with them, and I don't know, I like talking to the animals. It's just, I don't know, they get comfortable. They like to know that you're in the area and that you're calm. They get out, like they can sense when you're anxious or upset. So it helps working with them, and it helps me keep calm.
Horses are nonverbal, so it really calls on us to be aware of how the horses are feeling and interacting with us. It really calls on us to be aware of how we are in the world affects others, because horses are the easiest mirror for that, more so than people, because there's no judgment. They're not looking at what I'm wearing and who I am and what I look like and where I've been. They don't care about any of that. They just care, what's your energy like? Is it good energy? Is it relaxed energy? Is it trustworthy energy? And so can I be with you comfortably? That's all it is with the horses. So it really calls on us to find that in ourselves.
I enjoy seeing people grow, seeing them move forward, alleviating fears, and just building that relationship with the animal, building it with people, and gaining those peer relationships as well.
I see a big change. I see that they have various tools that they can access when they're feeling anxious or when they're feeling uncomfortable. I see people that are more engaging. I see people who come to the program and don't make eye contact, and by the end of the 12 weeks or 24 weeks or if they stay on, they're really fully more engaged. And on the day that they come to do their barn volunteering, they're more able to show up. They're more able to stay for the day. They're more able to really take on a very, in some cases, very strong leadership roles in the work in the barn.
Level of focus. Look well ahead, good 20 feet ahead, so that you know where you want to go. And Winston's right there. Nice, Brandon. Beautiful. Now take a deep breath and stop and see what happens. Exhale and come to a stop. Take a deep breath and stop. Beautiful. Oh my heavens, that's gorgeous.
spending time around these magnificent horses, and one can understand how they can have such a positive effect on one's mental health. Now, if you or someone you know can benefit from the Back in the Saddle program, contact Deborah by phone, or you can visit www.horsesatheart.com.